Quick question, how can you possibly fix a weak kick in your mix, maybe in your track? Maybe you find yourself, okay, the kick needs a little bit more punch, a little bit more bottom end. How do you do that? In this week's video, I want to share a little quick fix with Ableton Live stock plugins that you can do to enhance a weak kick, to add more bottom end, to add more punch with, as I said, simple tools, Ableton stock plugins. Ready, let's jump right in. Now, before we start, I want to mention my soft but snappy Rominimal Ableton Live kick template. This is also a kick that is highly adjustable, paired with the technique that I use in this week's video, and I think you have a great ability to create, number one, custom made kicks. Number two, you can really make them even more punchier if you like, with this little technique that I show you in this week's video. So yeah, if you want that, go and grab it. It's completely for free. Just click the link below this video, or also here in the corner somewhere I will add it, and then you can grab it for free. It's a little Max for Live device based on DS Kick from Ableton Live itself. Yeah, if you want that, go and grab it. It's for free. Now let's experiment with some kicks, adding a little bit more bottom end, a little bit more punch, so it stands out more and better in the mix, because the kick is a very important thing inside a dance track, right? Rominimal track, because we really want to hit that little frequencies. We really want to hit those frequency in that chest, right? If you stand in front of the subwoofer, we want to feel that shit, right? So yeah, that's how we do it, with a simple EQ and some resonances. So yeah, let's jump right in. Hope you have fun, hope you enjoy it. Cheers, bye bye. Alright, the first technique that I want to share with you, in order of processing kicks a little bit more in a kind of creative way, you know, not too technical way, in order of mixing, more in a creative way, I would say. But here's a kick, pretty long, right? I recorded this from, I guess, Korgwolka Beats, I guess. I think it was from that. Doesn't really matter anyway. So here's the very simplest thing to do if you want to shorten long files, long samples, whatnot. It can also apply to a clap or hi-hat even, you know. And you basically just select the clip, and then you go to sample, and you choose the pre-reserve and move to transient. This is by default, I guess. And then you have this transient loop mode, and if we just choose the first one, if we dial it back, we can actually make the kick shorter, you know. So let's have a listen. Right. I use this so many times on hi-hats, for example, on kicks like this one, right? Let's see how it reacts on a hi-hat, right? If we just want to shorten them. Pretty easy to do with just a few clicks inside the sample clip view, and using this little thing here. I actually got this technique from my friend at Point Blank Music School. He was sitting next to me and he was producing something. What was he producing? G House. Man, don't ask what G House is. It's EDM with freaking sounds. I don't know, but man, it was really inspiring, you know, to see him work. This guy had crazy skills, and I learned this little hack actually from him, you know, and I use it since then. Kick. So now let's process the kick a little bit in a creative way, like I just mentioned before. And to do so, I use a strange effect, which is a vocoder on the kick. But let's have a listen. Maybe we use a limiter so we don't get too many peaks here for the kick. So of course this sounds like shit, right, for our kick. But if we switch to modulator, we choose the range from 18 kilohertz to 20 hertz, right? So we have the full spectrum here. And then what I'm going to do is basically just play around with depth and release, you know, and of course with the dry wet knob. And then let's see what happens out of that, you know. Improve the level a little bit. Sounds almost like an acoustic kick now, right? Just with the vocoder. So if you like some kind of acoustic style of kicks, go with that. Now let's say I really like this kick. What I can do is create a new audio channel, and let's say I just want to resample that. I choose in the input, I choose simply resampling, and then I arm the track. And now what this does is it resamples the master channel, you know, to a new audio track. And also what I learned recently is if you just use the punch in and punch out, it basically just records within those loop brackets, right? Don't use the loop setting here, but if I just hit F9 now, it should resample that kick, right? So we have now resampled our kick. Now if we want to, we could layer it, right, or create another layer out of that, and we can get really creative with those kind of things, you know. This one doesn't make sense right now here, but what we could do now is we can further process this little kick here that we just created. Let's just for fun's sake just use this kick here that we just resampled. Now I put another limiter on that maybe, and let's say we want to add a little bit more bottom end to this sample here. What we can do is adding an EQ8. I use a spectrum analyzer first, or I simply use this one. Let's just use this one from the EQ8. So the peak is around 45 hertz, right? So now what I'm going to do is I use the steepest low cut filter, right? And what I'm also going to do is increasing the Q a little bit, the resonance, right? And this should boost up the low end a little bit more. But this kick already sounds a little bit boxy, so I might would EQ somewhere a little bit, adding a little dip here and there, maybe, I don't know. But just to show you what I mean by adding punch, making a weak kick a little bit more subby, you can basically just use an EQ8, boost the Q, and then swipe sweep through the frequency band and see where it fits best for your taste, for your needs, right? There's no right or wrong. I really encourage you to experiment. That's what I do all day long and share it on those videos, right? So yeah, let's see if we can find a good resonance frequency here. Get a little bit more punch, right? And since it sounds a little bit boxy, I might dip around, I don't know, somewhere here maybe. So we certainly have more bottom end right now, right? Now this is maybe not the best example for that kind of thing, but if you find yourself with a kick that is maybe lacking some low end, you can possibly use this little trick here with the Q and yeah, sweep through the frequency band and see where it fits best, rather than just boosting the low end, right? So you get a little bit more punch with the stock plugin from Ableton. And yeah, it's a very simple technique that you can use. And if you want to spice it up even more, maybe we can use a saturator after that. Right. And of course, if we want to, we can also use a compressor, right? Choose a long attack, short release. Right, so we have a new kick. Can add this. A quick AB, of course, it's probably not level matched. From here to this one, right? Now let's resample again. No input, so we resample to this channel here. You see, I already created some kick variations here. Now if we compare those two kicks here, we can also see that it's a different waveform, right? So it's this kick and this is the resampled one. So the blue one, audio one, and let's get rid of those hi-hats so you can get a better view of that, right? Now another thing that you possibly could do is first of all using an OTT, which is basically a multi-band compressor, Ableton stock compressor, and what we can do is add a little bit of top, you know. Just experimenting here a little bit. I'm not an expert in this, you know, but I have the feeling it adds a little bit more top end, a little bit of a click with this OTT. Without. Right. Oh, we are a bit over the top. So to prove the point again, I found another kick here with a weak low end, I would say. Let's have a quick listen here. And just to prove the point of this little trick of using the EQ8 with the resonance, right? So basically, we double check where it peaks the most. Let's use this bigger here. 62 maybe. So the first EQ, I increase the Q a little bit, and then I search for a good spot. Right? Maybe even closing my eyes. I'm closing my eyes and sweep just through the spectrum. I think here it's a good spot. I think we get a nice little punch with that resonant frequency. Get a nice punchy result. Could add a little bit saturation, but we already have some noise here going on, right? But still we can add something if we want to. And compress the whole thing if you like to. So with a little bit of compression, we get even more punch out of this kick here. Could limit it if you want to. And there you go, right? Let's make a AB here. Of course, not level matched, but you should still get the idea. Resample if you like. Don't forget to unloop it. I like to call it F9. Oh yeah, of course, we need to choose resampling and arm the track. Then we choose F9. Dying. We have resampled a nice kick, I guess. And yeah, let's have a listen. Versus this one. So it's the first result, right? Can it not even turn it up versus this one. Just with simple tools, Ableton Live tools, adding a little bit of resonance at the right spot and adding a glue compressor, and last but not least adding a limiter, right? So yeah, hopefully this was helpful to enhance your weak kicks a little bit. Yeah, maybe sometimes you found at the end of the arrangement, or when it comes to finalize your mix or arrangement or whatever, you find maybe the kick is sounding a little bit weak. So instead of boosting just the low end, you maybe need more punch. That's how you possibly could do it, just adding a little bit of resonance frequency, a saturator, glue compressor and a limiter, and then you should be ready to go. So yeah, hopefully you like this, and if you want to get a little bit more creative, you could possibly add a vocoder to an existing kick and see what you come up with, and play around with it. Have fun experimenting. Hope this was helpful and inspiring. Leave a comment what else I should what else I should share in a future video. So yeah, thanks for watching, thanks for your time. Hope to see you next week. Cheers, bye bye.